her voice echoing from the speaker. "It sounds like you're driving." Rain didn't answer. Instead, she told Gillian about her visit to Greta. Told her about the stuffed birds, how they stared, lifeless, frozen. It didn't sound funny as she hoped it would. "That's creepy," said Gillian absently, probably on Tinder or whatever the dating app of the moment was. Swipe left, swipe right. That was the low to which the modern world had reduced love, the magic of human connection. Then Rain went on to what happened in the house with the homeless man, the cat, the kittens. "Oh my God, honey!" Gillian snapped back to attention. "Are you okay?" "I'm okay," said Rain. She probably should have gone to the emergency room, gotten herself checked out. "Why would you go there alone?" she asked. "Rain, you're smarter than that." "I just wanted the pictures," she said. Gillian made a sound like she understood. "Two people there that night," Gillian said after a moment. "That's new." No, it wasn't new. Not to Rain. She hadn't forgotten as much as she'd pushed it deep, locked it in that box her father had taught her about. She'd put that part of herself away. That box. What her father hadn't told her, and to be fair, maybe he didn't even realize it himself, is that if you lock something in a box and bury it deep inside you, it stays, rattling around in there forever. "Rain." "Yeah?" "Are you sure you want to do this?" It was her friend talking, not her partner. "I mean, maybe it's all too hard. Maybe it's taking you places you don't need to go. Maybe it's taking me places I do need to go." She was opening the lid now, setting it all free, so that she could watch it fly away, a winged figure across the moon. That night, she and Hank took the ride mostly in silence. She tried to shift as far away from him as the passenger seat would allow. Greg wasn't speaking to her, so she hadn't had to worry about an excuse for where she'd be all night. But she had one at the ready. She was going to visit her father, spend the night in her old room, and do some laundry. It was something she did fairly frequently, and it would track. But Greg hadn't called or returned her calls. And she was pretty sure that she'd lost him. It was stone in her heart that she'd pushed away someone so good. What a cliché to say she didn't even realize how much she loved him until she'd screwed it all up. Her past had bubbled up like a noxious gas and poisoned her present. The Henry Hudson was thick with traffic, the city disappearing in the rearview mirror. Hank was a hulking presence. When he'd tossed his pack in the truck, it had clanked heavily, and she could only imagine what was inside. Was he really going to do this? Were they really going to do this? And yet, wasn't there also a giddy anticipation? The terrible thrill of imagined revenge tingled through her nerve endings. The idea of facing someone who terrorized you as a child and making him pay? There was a kind of comic book justice to that. It was a technicolor idea, bright with reds, oranges, yellows, and blues, one that recast everything that came before it. It turned her from a black and white figure cowering in fear into someone powerful, ready to make things right. She hadn't talked about her rage much, maybe with Dr. Cooper early on. The size and scope of her anger, it was nothing she'd ever experienced, and it didn't even feel like it fit in her body. But when she thought about Tess, about Kresge, about how they shouldn't have even been where they were, about how a million little things went wrong. Tess's mom called into work, the tire flat on Tess's bike. The injustice of it swelled, filled her. There was a scream of rage bigger than the world lodged in her center. If she let it loose, it might shatter everything with its terrible pitch and volume. She'd swallowed it, held it inside.